The truth is, change happens the moment you decide. You don't need more time. You need a shift in being. You see, there are infinite versions of you, each living a life shaped by a different choice. Question is, which one will you tune into? One decision, one little pivot, and the entire path unfolds differently. Don't underestimate how powerful one moment of clarity can be. The universe responds the second you align. So, if you're wondering what to do, just listen. The version of you who already chose is calling you home.
Hey, folks, hold on one second here. Oh, wait, 1 second here. We're gonna put, there we go. Gonna go over some information here, you guys. I just want to keep everybody in the loop about what's going on currently and kind of like check this. So there's a paradigm shift happening right now with the specific cryptocurrency. I want to say cryptocurrencies, mainly probably XRP, Hedera, XDC, and XLM possibly here. So what I want you folks to pay attention to is I put a scenario here through Grok and Gemini, Google's Gemini, to see what these AIs would kind of deduce what the potential price discovery would be on XRP if in fact these things that are taking place are applied. And here's what I came up with. So here's what we're gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and let's see here. I gotta grab up. So this is Grok. We're gonna do Grok first, and Grok had some pretty interesting. And I mean, it's kind of funny when you ask AI for a price discovery, folks. But like specifically, here's what I asked. I said I need a comprehensive assessment on price discovery for the cryptocurrency XRP if these things specifically happened. One, the tokenization of RWAs and the application of those on a specific ledger via the Ethereum Solidity smart contract capability. And what would happen when the private ledger and the public ledger become unified? So, this is what Gemini happened. Or no, I'm sorry, Grok. This is Grok, straight from Grok. All right. It says the XRP native cryptocurrency of the XRP ledger, XRPL, has long been positioned as a bridge currency for facilitating fast, low-cost border transactions. Price discovery for XRP, like any cryptocurrency, is influenced by discovery and a multitude of dynamics. Let's see. Market dynamics, adoption, utility, and technological advancements. Now, the hypothetical scenario, and I didn't pose this as a hypothetical scenario. I simply asked, and it's to give me a hypothetical. I simply asked for its price to give me, a 7-paragraph comprehensive as it says. As I see, I'll show you what it says. So anyway, this is where it gets interesting. So, and again, I didn't give any specifics as opposed to what Ripple's doing. I simply just said those three things. Give me the real world tokenization of RWAs and apply those on a specific ledger, and what would happen when, and they have to do that with the Ethereum. You can't do it without Ethereum, I guess. The smart contracting, the capability, the Solidity language used on Ethereum's ecosystem is specific for tokenization and applying those tokenized RWAs into specific ledgers and whatnot. So there has to be there's a contract there. And that's why, if you look at it right now, Ethereum is ran on 2,100 markets right now. Pretty extensive. So in that regard, let's get back in. Let's dive right into this, and I'm not going to interrupt with my little commentary here. So let's go straight from Grok. All right, so price discovery for XRP, like any cryptocurrency, is influenced by market dynamics, adoption, utility, and technological advancements. The hypothetical scenario where real-world assets, RWAs, are tokenized and and integrated with Ethereum Solidity smart contracts and unified across private and public ledgers introduces significant implications for XRP's price discovery. No kidding. That's kind of why. Because this is stuff that's happening. Now, before I dive too much, wait, there goes my workout thing. So, before I dive too much into this, check this out. Real world RWA's tokenization via Medico is a company that Ripple bought. They say in 2026, but I think they bought it or were partnered with them before that and then just bought them out in 2024 or something like that. Now, why did I say 2026? Doesn't matter. Anyway, the Medico tokenization company is tokenizing things everywhere. And Ripple is tokenizing things in other countries like real estate and gold and now it's like so I didn't throw any of this scenario into this comprehensive breakdown. I simply just said, hey, I want to know what happens if A, B, and C. I'm talking about unification of public private ledger, I'm talking about tokenization of RWAs applied into a specific ledger for price discovery, and the ability to utilize Ethereum's ecosystem with the Solidity smart contract and the whole, whatever Ethereum's doing. So, with that being said, man, this gets because I didn't tell, and it's just funny how Grok started hitting on a lot of the things that Ripple are doing right now. Like Ripple, hey, look up the Hong Kong Monetary Authority and the EKHD pilot program working with Ripple Labs and see what that's all about, folks. Interesting, huh? Hong Kong. You hear those Chinese tariff, Trump and the trade wars and the tariff wars but this company Ripple, right, is not doing any trade wars. They don't need to because they are literally working with these people's financial monetary authorities. So there's some insight for you. It's just a freebie. All right, let's dive into this here. So here's what it says. We've got past the first little segment here. I wish my phone was, I'm just trying to expose it. So here we go, folks. Check this out. This is where it gets juicy, because I could show you where there is an EVM. It's an Ethereum virtual machine or sidechain that they just launched on the XRPL. Real talk. So maybe I should change my little backup real quick. I'll change my green screen. Hold on, check this out. Check this one out. Oh, golly. Here we go. Check this one out, man. You can't make this up. So, real talk, folks. Yeah. I should show that one, but I'm not going to do this. It's almost here, I'm sure. Oh my gosh, where is it here? Bam. So, check this out. You can't make this one up, folks. So, we're going to go on with the juicy, look at this. So, integration with Ethereum Solidity smart contracts. The ability to apply tokenized RWAs to the XRPL via Ethereum Solidity smart contract capability introduces a transformative layer of programmability. Ripple's recent announcement of an Ethereum virtual machine or EVM sidechain enabling Solidity-based smart contracts allows developers to leverage Ethereum's robust ecosystem while utilizing XRPL's efficiency. This interoperability could enable complex DeFi applications such as tokenized asset lending and yielding farming involving XRP by bridging Ethereum's smart contract functionality with the XRPL's low-cost transactions. XRP could see increased utility as a settlement or collateral token in DeFi protocols, enhancing its price discovery through broader market participation and speculative interest. The unification of private and public ledger. Now here's where it gets juicy, folks. Hey, thanks for the like. Appreciate you. Hey, this one's for you. All right. The unification of private and public ledgers. This is happening not only with XRP, but like with XDC, HBAR, and XLM. So check this one out. This is interesting. The unification of private and public ledgers. The unification of private and public ledger represents a paradigm shift, merging the compliance-heavy, permission system of traditional finance with the transparent, decentralized nature of the public blockchain, like XRPL. Ripple's partnership with banks and financial institutions, which has got over 1,700 NDAs, folks, another freebie for you, and financials such as Archax and Braza Bank, position XRPL as a hub for institutional DeFi, where tokenized assets can be traded without any problem. Like, okay, over here, switch to the next little. Without in unification and could reduce the friction in asset transfers, improving liquidity and enhancing price discovery by creating a unified market where XRP serves as a universal bridge currency. The increased interoperability would likely attract institutional capital, driving XRP demand and price stability. Now, folks, check this one out. The impact on XRP's price discovery, the combined effect of the RWA tokenization, Solidity integration, and ledger unification would significantly enhance XRP's price discovery. Increased adoption of XRPL requires, and check this out, I'm going to show you, folks. I sent this to my Facebook. So it says here, the increased adoption of XRPL for tokenized assets would drive transaction volumes requiring more XRP for fees and liquidity provisions, directly impacting its market value. Post on X suggests institutional adoption could unlock a $196 trillion market, with XRP positioned as a key facilitator. Additionally, EVM compatibility could attract DeFi developers, increase speculative trading and investor interest. The unification of ledgers would further amplify this by enabling seamless asset flows, reducing market fragmentation, and fostering a more efficient price discovery process, potentially pushing XRP's price toward new highs as seen with its current trading volume of $3.18. Now, I made this a couple days ago. Now, here's the conclusion. Oh, wait, no, let's do challenges and risks first. So check out challenges and risks. Despite the bullish outlook, challenges remain. Regulatory hurdles such as KYC, AML compliance for tokenized assets could slow adoption, particularly in jurisdictions with stringent rules. Smart contract vulnerabilities, especially when integrating Solidity, pose risks as coding errors could undermine trust in XRPL-based DeFi applications. Additionally, reliance on oracles for off-chain data and tokenized asset introduces potential points of failure, requiring robust solutions like Chainlink. Well, guess who's partnered with Ripple? You got it. Good old Chainlink. All right, so check that one off. There's that. Market competition from Ethereum and other blockchains which dominate RWA tokenization could limit XRPL's market share unless its low cost and compliant features are aggressively marketed. These risks could temper XRP's price growth if not addressed. Now, the conclusion and future outlook. The convergence of RWA tokenization, Ethereum Solidity, smart contract integration, and public-private ledger unification position XRP for a potential price discovery renaissance. By enhancing XRPL's utility, attracting institutional and DeFi participants, and streamlining global asset flows, these developments could drive XRP's price significantly higher, potentially aligning with the optimistic, wait for it, the optimistic projections of a $10,000 per XRP in a tokenized financial system. However, overcoming regulatory, technical, and competitive challenges will be critical. As Ripple continues to build infrastructures and partnerships, XRP's role as a bridge currency in a tokenized, interoperable financial ecosystem could redefine its market value, making it a cornerstone of the future digital economy. Now, that's just grok. Let's go see what good old Gemini has to say, shall we? And Gemini also put things that Grok didn't even touch on. So here's Gemini. Now, I asked the same question. While there isn't directly solidity on the XRP ledger in the same way it works on Ethereum, the core concept you described, tokenizing real world assets, and its effect on XRPL's price discovery is a significant and evolving topic. The XRP ledger, XRPL, has its own native capabilities for issuing and managing custom tokens. And an EVM Ethereum virtual machine sidechain has been launched to bring Ethereum compatible smart contracts, including those written in Solidity, to the XRP ecosystem, XRPL ecosystem. This integration is what makes the scenario you're asking about possible. The mechanism of real world assets, tokenization on XRPL. It says, tokenization of the XRP ledger is the process of representing a tangible asset like real estate or fine art as a digital token on the blockchain. This is achieved using the XRPL's native issued currency, featured which allows the creation of custom tokens that can represent anything from a fiat currency to a share in the company. These tokens function similarly to IOUs and are managed on the ledger. With recent launches of an EVM compatible sidechain, developers can now also use Solidity smart contracts. Including those written in Solidity to the XRPL ecosystem. This integration is what makes the sorry about that. So let's see. These tokens function similar to this and that. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Okay, so developers can now also use Solidity, the smart contract, to create complex programmable tokenized assets. For example, a smart contract could be written to create more complex. It could be written to automatically distribute rental income for a tokenized property to all token holders. This merging of XRPL's high-speed, low-cost network with Ethereum's smart contract functionality provides a powerful platform for a wide range of real-world asset tokenization use cases. Huge, folks. Like, this is happening. XRP role in the price discovery. So, the price discovery of XRP is a dynamic process influenced by various factors, and the tokenization of real-world assets adds a new and powerful dimension. XRP's value is traditionally tied to its use cases as a bridge currency for cross-border payments. However, as the XRPL becomes a hub for tokenized assets, XRP's role expands. It acts as the native asset required for transaction fees on the XRPL, and is often the liquidity pair for these new tokens on the XRPL, built-in decentralized exchange of the DEX. This means that every transaction involving a tokenized asset, buying, selling, or transferring, requires a small amount of XRP for the network fee. This constant programmatic demand for, or I guess, it's a deflationary fucking asset. So it's going to, you burn it up, you keep using it, you keep burning it up, it keeps going down, it keeps going up in price. So deflationary. Now, if you run all these other things like the Ethereum contracts on, the Ethereum tokens, XRP acts as the gas fee for those Ethereum. Yeah. So check this out. Let's keep going. This constant programmatic demand for XRP directly influences its market price. The more tokenized assets there are, and the more they are traded, the more utility and demand is created for XRP. Liquidity and market accessibility. One of the most significant impacts of tokenization is the potential to unlock vast amounts of previously illiquid capital. A high-value asset, such as a commercial building or a rare piece of art, can be divided into thousands of fractional tokens. This allows a much wider range of investors to participate, as the barrier to entry is dramatically lowered. These tokens can be bought and sold 24/7 on the XRPL's DEX, creating a transparent and liquid secondary market. The increased liquidity and accessibility of these assets directly contributes to their price discovery. The constant trading activity provides real-time market data, allowing for a more accurate valuation of the underlying asset. This, in turn, makes the entire ecosystem more attractive to both individual and institutional investors, fueling a positive feedback loop. Let's go and talk about this feedback loop. The price discovery feedback loop. The interaction between tokenized assets and XRP's price is a powerful feedback loop. As more real-world assets are tokenized on the XRPL, the demand for XRP increases due to its use in transaction fees and as a liquidity pair. This increased demand can drive the price of XRP. A higher price for XRP, in turn, makes the XRPL a more attractive and reputable platform. XRP, so encouraging even more institutional and developers to tokenize their assets on it. This creates a cycle where the growth of the tokenized asset market and the value of XRP mutually reinforce each other. The transparency of XRP, or the transparency and efficiency of the XRPL's ledger and DEX also mean that this price discovery process is more open and resilient to manipulation than traditional markets or even the current crypto market. This symbiotic relationship between the tokenized asset and its native cryptocurrency is a key driver for the long-term value proposition of the entire ecosystem. The idea of public and private ledger unification is a pivotal concept in the future of finance, often referred to as a unified ledger or the finternet. If this scenario takes place, it will represent a fundamental shift in how financial institutions operate, and it would have a profound and transformative impact on XRP's role and price discovery. This unification would not mean a single one ledger to rule them all, but rather a seamless interoperability where private permissioned ledgers used by institutions for sensitive transactions are directly connected to a public permissionless ledger like the XRPL. This would create a common venue where tokenized assets from private ledgers can interact with the liquidity and transparency of the public ledger. For example, a bank could use a private ledger to tokenize a commercial mortgage, but then use the public XRPL's DEX to find buyers and execute the transaction with instant settlement. This interoperability would eliminate the current friction, costs, and time delays associated with moving assets between different systems, creating a more efficient and interconnected global financial system. Whoo! And let's go ahead and finish up here. It doesn't really give me a price summary on this, but it does say this. This direct verifiable utility would be the XRP's value, not just, it causes, you know what, also, so when the public and private ledger unify, the price discovery for XRP would enter a new paradigm. The current data about whether institutional transactions on private ledgers are hidden from the public market would become obsolete. The unification would make the public ledger the indisputable hub for liquidity and the and settlement. This would mean that every time an institution uses private ledger to, for example, tokenize a massive asset like a portfolio of loans, and then needed to move or sell the token on the open market, it would have engaged with the public XRPL and its DEX. This constant high volume flow of institutional capital into the public ledger would create a massive and sustained demand for XRP, as every transaction on the ledger requires a small amount of XRP for the network fee. This direct verified utility would tie XRP's value not just to its use as a bridge currency, but to the total value of the asset being tokenized and transacted across the unified financial ecosystem. This direct programmatic demand would make XRP's price discovery far more transparent and mathematically driven, moving it away from speculative sentiment and closer to its function of real world economic activity on the ledger. Bam! XRP is what it be. And let me just end with, let me just end on this one, folks, because we really got to end on a good note. And I just want you folks to just, keep all this stuff in mind when you're, well, when, let me see here. Got to end on something. Got to end on a positive one for you guys. Uh-huh. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. And here we go, folks. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this and just go.
The truth is, the moment you decide. You don't need more time. You need a shift in being. You see, there are infinite versions of you, each living a life shaped by a different choice. Question is, which one will you tune into? One decision, one gentle pivot, and the entire path unfolds differently. Don't underestimate how powerful one moment of clarity can be. The universe responds the second you align. So, if you're wondering what to do, just listen. The version of you who already chose is calling you home.
Thanks for joining me, folks. Appreciate you.
Jumping, holding it tight when the price be pumping. Shots on fire, the candles thumping. Late night grind, all the coins keep lumping. Leverage stacking, profit packing. Got no breaks while the graph keeps cracking. Signals flashing, wallets clashing. In this world where games are smashing. Crypto chat checking, I'm the king of the game. Got my brother on the other end, calling my name. Spot trade attacking, we don't play it the same. Ride the wave till the world knows my fame. Digits flipping in the midnight zone. Blockchain vibes on my mobile phone. Every loss is a lesson I own. Stack the wins till my empire's grown. The lows to the highs we hustle. Breaking through like a flexing muscle. Never fold in the crypto shuffle. In this grind we thrive.